Hey everybody, welcome to EduMatch. So follow along with us with the hashtag EduMatch on Twitter if you're watching this in real time, or on our YouTube live link at podcast.edumatch.org/tweet talk. So tonight we have a very special episode, have two amazing guests with us. So we have Mary Alice and Michelle. So I'm going to tell you all a little bit about our guests today. So first, let's start with Mary Alice. So we're going to go left to right, my left to right. So Dr. Mary Alice BFX Kern is a founder and CEO of the Digital Citizenship Institute. As a mother and a connected educator, she has served as an associate professor, middle school teacher, principal, and library media specialist. Woo, lots of roles. As a pioneer in digital citizenship, she developed and created the first three-credit digital citizenship course for teachers in the United States. She co-founded the Digital Citizenship Chat and Twitter in 2011 and the Digital Citizenship Summit in 2015. She chairs the International Society for Technology and Education, PLN, and is a researcher, keynote, and TEDx youth speaker. So welcome, Mary Alice.
Oh, what a mouthful. Sarah, thanks so much for the introduction. So happy to be here.
All right, so happy to have you. And also happy to have Michelle here. So Michelle Linford is passionate about strategic change initiatives and collaborative communities. She is currently the executive director of Epic Deliberate Digital. You can find them at epic.org, and facilitating a cross-sector community collaboration effort around the complex issue of raising children in a tech-saturated world. Michelle is hosting the National DigCit Summit in November 2017. Previous summits were held at Twitter HQ in San Francisco in 2016 and University of St. Joseph in West Hartford, Connecticut. So super excited to have you here and to talk about DigCit Summit Utah. So welcome, Michelle.
Thank you. So glad to be here.
Awesome, and glad to have you. So let's go ahead and jump into a little bit about who the two of you are, what your background is, and who or what inspired your work in digital citizenship. So either one of you want to kick it off?
Michelle, go, Mary Alice.
I'm just going to say that our inaugural event in 2015, Sarah, you were there. As one of our trifecta, man. This is all, you've been a part of it all, Sarah. But so has Epic Deliberate. So Epic came from Utah and was part of our inaugural event. And ever since the West Hartford Inn, this was October 2015, we have been collaborating and working together to really bring this third, annual Digital Citizenship Summit to Utah. And I can tell you personally, I'm so excited about, it's just been a fabulous journey to be learning alongside and with Epic. So that's really, to me, that's our background story. And I feel like I've actually probably known Michelle and Epic much longer than I have. I can't believe it's only been 2015. So Michelle, I mean,
yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I can't believe it's only been a couple of years, because it feels like we've known each other a long time. Epic has been around since 2014 and has always been interested in issues related to kids and technology. Interestingly enough, and this is relevant for what we're doing in Utah, Epic started more on the preventative side of things, wanting to prevent the bad, if you will. And we discovered that people didn't really want to talk much about that. And it wasn't an energy that we wanted to be a part of. There were plenty of resources out there. So we decided to pivot and focus on trying to build more of a positive focus on using technology in positive ways. And so that became Epic's focus. And we thought that we'd only be hanging out in Utah. We held collaborative meetings, including youth, trying to get just conversations started, and finding partners who would be interested in being part of a collaborative effort. And part of those collaborations opened up an opportunity for us to influence a bill in Utah that ended up being the first digital citizenship bill in the nation. And that's really, from our perspective, what opened the door, in addition, of course, to attending in Connecticut, that we had something to say. We had something to bring and say that there are some important things here happening in Utah. We have what we call the Silicon Slopes, a growing tech industry. And so we just felt that Utah was a great place to bring the summit. So that's how we got to where we are.
That is so awesome, and congratulations on influencing that bill. Like that is just amazing, and that just speaks to the power of just everything that you all do at Epic. So that is awesome.
Thank you.
Cool, yeah, absolutely. So wanted to give a quick shout out to Rochelle who's tuning in and said that she's teaching about DigSit in her STEAM class now. They designed flyers and infographics for each of 9 elements. So that is awesome.
That is awesome.
Yes,
Yeah, I'd love to see more of that.
Oh yeah,
And in
absolutely.
fact, it's Rochelle that you're giving the shout out to. Is that, did I, right?
Yeah, Rochelle.
Tell Rochelle the one part about that's happening in November at the Third National DigSit Summit is a youth extravaganza. So, I mean, one thing that definitely unites all three of us on this call right now is that, you know, we're just advocates and champions for student voice. So I think I am the most excited personally about this youth extravaganza. I mean, honestly.
That's the heart of the summit. It's a free community event. We want to fill that room. We have a big space to be able to showcase these youth, or let the youth showcase what they have done and do to use technology for good in personal, local, and even global spheres. So we're excited about that. We really want people to be able to get a sense for what using tech for good looks and feels like. We could talk about it till kingdom come, right? But we want them to see and experience the energy of what happens when youth are deliberate with how they use technology.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Rochelle agrees as well. She says that will be awesome. So yeah, so I
Have her submit some stories. We'd love to have more stories. Submissions are open till the end of the month. So if she has examples of her students using technology in positive ways, have her submit. We'd
absolutely.
welcome that, Rochelle.
Absolutely. All right. So that sounds really good. So Rochelle, you have your homework, you and your students. All right. So if we kind of take a step back, for any of our viewers who might not be familiar with the term, then what exactly does digital citizenship mean, and why is it important?
Well, you know, we all agree that if you ask 10 different people, you could get 10 different responses. And it really matters where their starting point is. And so, like Michelle had said earlier, you know, my journey definitely started from a preventative place as well. And so I feel like what we're doing with the DigSit Summit and with this movement, it's not just, you know, come to this event. This is really this positive movement. It's changing the narrative. And, you know, so for that definition of digital citizenship, that Michelle had already said it, you know, we're using that hashtag about use tech for good. You know, a lot of times I feel like people talk about it and they're talking about safety, which is very important. They're talking about social responsibility, which is very important. But sometimes that conversation like starts and ends there. And so we continue to add layers. And so that next layer is like that participation, like, you know, as a participatory, you know, action about how you deliberately use tech for good. And I feel like, Michelle, all the things that we were talking about, instead of talking at students, we're talking with students. And this is really a community approach. And Michelle, you just jump in, because I mean, this is.
Well, yeah, I'll just add on to that, or just reinforce that it's often easy to think about digital citizenship in terms of maybe a class or a curriculum, but we're talking about it as being a mindset. And like Mary Alice said, an ongoing conversation. Technology is always going to be changing, and we can't just pin it down at any one moment and say, this is what it is. It involves a lot of facets, from safety to privacy to ethics to, you know, all of those things. And this kind of lifestyle, because we are in a digital world. And just as good citizenship in your quote unquote real life isn't just about locking your doors and not doing drugs, you know, good citizenship is about being involved, engaged, about caring about people, about looking for service opportunities, and really wanting to make a difference in your sphere. The only thing that there are things that are different about digital life that are important to distinguish, but the heart of it's the same. And the tools make it so that we can have a lot more reach and impact. And so it's an exciting concept. Yeah, we need to learn the things to keep kids safe. And we do not want to be misunderstood as saying otherwise. And our theme is expand, with an emphasis on that and. So we're just inviting people to, oh yeah, talk about safety, and let's explore all the amazing, good, creative things that can happen. We really believe that potential is very untapped right now. And when kids and adults work together rather than at odds, because often if there's a fear mindset, there's kind of a wedge, a generational wedge. We want to break down those generational walls, get youth and adults working together, and see what we can co-create to really make this world a better place, to improve relationships. That's what digital citizenship means to me at the heart. It's more of a heart and a mindset, not just a set of skills alone.
I have to add in, it's the heart of being human.
That's right.
You know,
of our values.
Yeah, and I love that. Bronwyn Joyce has this hashtag she uses, one world, one classroom. You know, and, you know, I think of a classroom as just an opportunity to learn, whether you're, you know, in a school or you're out of a school. We're all learners. And so that to me is just really exciting.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Students, teachers, parents, everyone learning together.
That's
Absolutely. Right. Yeah. So I heard you all talk about the hashtag Tech for Good. So how can people leverage the power of social media in order to make this positive change in the world? Like, what are some ways that people can use social media and leverage this power?
I feel like we should ask you that question. Do you want to
I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's just so many opportunities. You know, we just had Dot Day. You know, it's really a change of mindset that, you know, I'm breaking down classroom walls and I'm learning. And my, you know, Curran loves to say, you know, if you want us to learn about the world, we have to learn with the world. And so, you know, I've got a 10-year-old. People that don't, you know, might not know our story. I'm just lucky to be a mother and son team. I've got a 10-year-old son. His Twitter handle is Curran Central. And he is the CKO, Chief Kid Officer of DigCit Kids, which is digital citizenship for kids by kids. Because, you know, when he was in the 3rd grade, he said, why are adults talking about student voice? Why aren't students talking about student voice? So it's an opportunity to really highlight the amazing things, like how kids are using tech for good. So, you know, one of the hashtags that we're using for this conference is hashtag use tech, and then the number 4 for good. DigCit Kids, and then I know one of our hashtags is be that kind of kid, and kind is all capital. But there are so many ways to get and so many different tools to get your students involved, and it just is, I mean, any one of us could continue to add to this, you know, conversation about hashtags or opportunities or, you know, chats or communities, but they're all out there and people want to connect and they want to have something authentic, an authentic learning opportunity. And this is really what we're trying to capitalize.
I just add to that. So Mary Alice is a teacher and talks especially from the perspective of a teacher and of course a mother who is always engaged in teaching. I'm thinking about a broader community as well, that often I think social media ends up being a consumption tool. You know, what can I read? What can I do? What can I see? What can I share so that I get likes or whatever? And when we talk about digital citizenship, we're talking about creating. We're talking about collaborating and communicating and finding ways to engage in the community and make a difference. And so when we think about digital citizenship and social media together, it's that outward focus. And I think one of the myths that we have to dispel, because sometimes social media can be misused, either in that kind of consumptive way or in a selfish or sometimes even mean way, in an inappropriate way. There are sometimes myths that technology hinders real relationship building. The truth is, I mean, look at what we are able to do. It's as though we're sitting in the same, I feel that connection and that opportunity to get to know you better. Mary Alice and I have spent oodles of time through various social media tools to be able to build our relationship because we live on opposite sides of the country. Social media is a very powerful tool for the very things that humans need and want: to build relationships, to build connection, to work together, to feel like that power of being able to make a difference. So the tools themselves are neutral. It's how we use them that matters. So digital citizenship is really focusing on that how, the heart of the how.
Okay, can I just add, when you asked us to define digital citizenship, let's just tag on that it is about relationships. It's, I mean, this is at the heart of it. And I just loved what you just said, Michelle. And I'm so happy to know both of you. I mean, honestly.
Same here.
Yeah.
And you can feel it. You can feel the heart of building relationships, and just because it's done through a tool doesn't make it any less meaningful, even though I do look forward to the face-to-face that we'll experience in November.
Oh yeah bear hug for sure the minute I see you.
Oh yes, group hug. Group hug in November.
Group hug, yes.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. So okay, so speaking of November, then I'm going to ask y'all a little bit about the upcoming events. So you all have given us some highlights, some things to look for. The youth extravaganza sounds amazing. So what else do we have in store for November?
So November's event is going to be different than many conferences people will have attended. We will have 2 days of meetings, and we will have speakers and panelists, but the discussion, rather than a speaker just talking at us or a panel discussion happening between the panelists, the discussions, all of these speakers will be inputs to roundtable discussions. So the whole summit is focused on discovery, creativity, curiosity, and co-creating ideas around improving the culture around kids and technology, and continue trying to build that model of continuous communication, continuous co-creation, because this will be an ongoing conversation. There is never one complete right answer for any of these things that we're discussing. And there are a lot of tensions. That's why that and mindset will be really important. How do you bring youth and adults working together? How do you focus on the preventative side and build the positive? These are the kinds of tensions that we'll be discussing. The youth extravaganza will be the night of the first day of the summit. And then the second day, we'll end the summit meetings early. And, at most conferences, you'll have breakout sessions or workshops. We're taking the breakout sessions and workshops out to the community. So in 9 different locations around the whole valley here, we call it the Wasatch Front, there will be multiple community events and workshops so that the community can come. They'll be free, so we can have the public come and engage, and different speakers and participants will be holding workshops and generating more exciting discussion all throughout the valley. So we're really excited about this idea to not just have the summit be for the people who are attending, but to have it take that energy out into the community and model having ongoing collaborative conversations.
And I'm excited because it's really breaking that conference model. Like, for people to be able to experience this, if you are able to come to Utah, would love for you to have this as something that you experience. But if you can't experience it in person, there are going to be options to have a virtual audience see what it looks like, to really focus more on the relationship building and the conversations, and that. That sit and get or that stand and deliver, those days are over. This is about really collaboratively, as a community, really coming together, and that all voices are going to matter.
Yeah, we're really excited about that.
Absolutely. That is going to be such an amazing experience. So I am super pumped. Cannot wait. So great event. So anyone who is in the Utah area, go out there, get your learn on. Even if you're not from the Utah area, then still go out there, get your learn on.
And in fact, I want to add that Google Fiber just pledged a very generous scholarship that can help get educators and parents and nonprofit leaders to Utah. So if there are any educators or nonprofit leaders listening right now, we've got a 50% off of a registration fee, a limited number of tickets, but we would love to help make it a little easier to come. We're so grateful to Google Fiber for helping us. The registration fees, they're there to cover the food because we went big and got this really beautiful convention center. So we're not making any money on this thing. We hope that people will come because, as Mariella said, there will be virtual opportunities, but there will be nothing like being there in person.
Right. You know that expression, go large or stay home.
That's what we did. That was my motto.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because what we're doing is big and it's bigger than all of us. We need each other. And so come, we need you.
Absolutely. And it's going to be a fantastic event. I cannot wait. So how can people get in touch with you all online and how can they find out more about the event?
Okay, I'll go first. We're on Twitter at DigCit Utah and at Epic Alliance. So it's EPIK Alliance. And you can reach me personally at Michelle, MICHELLE, at epik.org. Email is one of the best ways to reach me.
Now, I would say email is probably not the best way to reach me because that inbox, man, when it's buried, it's buried. But I go by all my crazy initials, MBFXC, Dead Giveaway, Irish Catholic from Boston, Mary Alice Bridget, Francis Xavier Curran. And that's on Twitter. That's probably, honestly, the best way to get a hold of me. And if you can remember those initials, it's probably easier to just do mbfxc.com. And then that's my personal website, but it connects to the summit. It connects to the Institute. It connects to DigCit Kids. But if you can remember all those crazy initials, I think that's probably the best way to get a hold of me. And I mean, I could give email, but honestly,
or you can Voxer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Voxer's a great way. In fact, Voxer's the same. MBFXC on Voxer. That's a great idea.
Voxer is where it's at.
Oh my gosh. How many times, just even with the two of you, do we just Vox back and forth?
It's the best tool ever.
It is the best tool ever. So yeah, same initials for Voxer.
And we are not getting paid to say that.
No.
We just love it.
Just love it.
I also will, of course, tell you the website for the summit. So it's pretty easy, digcitsummit2017.com. That's where you can register. And I'm trying to think about how best to communicate the discount code because it's kind of long, but it's thanks spelled THX with a capital T, and then Google with a capital G, Fiber with a capital F. We just wanted people to be thanking them as they're, expressing that thanks as they're registering. So that's a 50% off again.
All right, that is awesome. So thank you both for joining us tonight and giving us all this great info about the DigCit Summit 2017. Super excited. A little over a month away, so can't wait to see you both there as well as everyone else who's going to be there. So thank you to everyone who was tuning in and everyone who will be listening later on. And just a reminder, we rolled out our extended learning opportunity yesterday. So check out badgelist.com/edumatch for more opportunities to extend your learning. This will be available as a podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, wherever you get your podcasts. So check that out in the next few weeks. We'll definitely get it out before the summit. And next week, come back at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday with AJ Giuliani. He's going to be doing a special tweet and talk. And then at 7 o'clock, EduMatch's 3rd birthday. So that should be fun. Yeah.
They say it's your birthday.
Yes. Officially out of diapers, right?
I love it.
So anyone can be a panelist. Just sign up at getconnected.edumatch.org/sign up. And you can also subscribe at podcast.edumatch.org/podcast. Just go to the EduMatch page. You'll see every place that you can subscribe and everything like that. So thank you again to both of you and to everyone watching and listening. And we will catch you next time.
Thanks so much, Sarah.
Thanks, Sarah.